Every day, YouTube helps us decide what to watch. Out of millions of videos, it somehow knows which few videos to place right in front of us. But how? Every day, Spotify helps us discover music. From a library of millions of songs, it recommends music we are likely to enjoy. Sometimes, it feels like it understands our taste. But how? Every day, people ask ChatGPT questions. Within seconds, it generates entirely new responses, not copied, generated, but how? Every day, our phone recognizes our faces. A quick glance at the screen, and instantly the device knows it is us, not a stranger, not a friend, us, but how? At first glance, these systems seem completely different. One recommends videos, one recommends music, one generates language, one recognizes faces, different applications, different industries, different technologies. Yet all of them seem to possess a remarkable ability. They can take information, understand patterns, and make decisions. But how? How does YouTube know what we might want to watch? How does Spotify know what we might want to hear? How does ChatGPT know how to respond? And how does a phone knows that it is looking at us? Before we can understand how these systems work, we must answer an even simpler question. What does a machine actually sees? When you look at this image, you immediately recognize a dog. You see fur, you see ears, you see eyes, you understand the concept of dog, but machine does not. When you listen to music, you hear rhythm, you hear melody, you feel emotions, you understand the song, but machine does not hear music the way you do. When a business looks at a customer, it sees preferences, habits, interests, and goals, but machine does not understand customers directly. When you read a document, you understand meanings, ideas, stories, knowledge, but machine does not understand language the way humans do. A machine does not see dogs. It does not hear music. It does not understand language. It does not know what a customer is. So what does it see? When you look at a dog, you see a dog. The machine does not. To a machine, an image is nothing more than a collection of pixels. Each pixel contains numerical values that describes color and brightness. What we see as a dog, the machine sees as a measurement. When you listen to music, you hear melody, rhythm, emotions. The machine does not. To a machine, music becomes a sequence of measurements: change in ear pressure, change in frequency, change in time. What we hear as a music, the machine sees as a numbers. When you read a sentence, you understand meaning, ideas, context, intent. Machine cannot work directly with words. Before language can be processed, it must first be converted into numerical representation. What we read as a language, the machine sees as a numbers. When a business looks at a customer, it sees preferences, habits, interests, goals. The machine does not see any of these directly. Instead, it sees measurements, is, purchases, clicks, rating, history. The customer becomes data. The same transformation happens everywhere. Image becomes numbers, music becomes numbers, language becomes numbers, customer becomes numbers, reality becomes number, data becomes number, and once information becomes numbers, mathematics can begin. But numbers alone are not enough. They must be organized, and that leads us to one of the most important ideas in all of machine learning, the vectors.